Hello and welcome to this Season 24 SSL Major League Division 1 Matchday 8. I'm your host, Patrick, and I'll be bringing you play-by-play and hosting this Matchday 8. We're excited to get into it. We have Reykjavik United taking on CD Technicolin. We have Hollywood FC taking on Union Sao Paulo. And then we also have Shanghai Dragons taking on Leafyside Celtic FC. It's a great match day, a lot of great matches on the books, and so many others that I'm excited to get into it. We'll be taking off as soon as the matches are ready. Welcome to the SSL. And we're jumping into it. Reykjavik United 2-0-3 in their last 5. Taking on CD Technicolin, who is 2-1-2 in their last 5. Standings, Reykjavik at the bottom, CD Technicolin trying to stay out of the relegation zone, sitting in 5th. CD Technicolin in their yellow and reds, Reykjavik in their greens. Reykjavik kicks it off. Roger comes up with steal and gets it back to Briere. Briere gets it back to Ball. Ball sends it up to Pinkman, and we're off. Skovgaard just got yellow carded. Dina Skovgaard. It's going to be a goal kick for Wall Jr. Wall Jr. sends it up to Pushkin. Pushkin up to Tentacles. Tentacles dribbling. Gets it over to Cortista. Bad pass, but Rashford gets it. Kicks and goal. Miko Rashford the second gets their second goal of the SSL season. It was a rough pass from Cortista that Briere steps into, but Rashford stays with it, gets it, and it's just a slow shot that beats Ball and dribbles on through. 1-0, Reykjavik United. All the way back to Ball. Reykjavik putting on some pressure. Sends it up to Patterson. Finds Blood Flame streaking shot. It was wide. Blood Flame was offsides. These two teams are really even in the standings. 2-1-4 each. Only difference is Technicolin with a -4 goal differential compared to Reykjavik's -6. Winner of this is going to go. And that header by Dom Patterson. Tonto Tut with a beautiful cross. Dom Patterson on the other end buries it. And it's going to be a 1-1 game. Tut used every inch of the field, crosses it over. Patterson at the top of the goal box and scores. 1-1. Throw in for CDT. Roger back to Del Silva, back to Briere. Briere all the way back to Ball. Ball dribbles, gets it up to Pinkman. Pinkman up to Cantina. Cantina over to Elliott. Elliott up to Handball. Gets it up to Tut. Tut crosses it, and Reykjavik stops. Hannibal with it now. Hannibal shot, and it's saved by Wall Jr. Corner kick for Elliott J. Sends it in. And Pinkman comes down with it, but Reykjavik clears it. Cortista's fouled, and it's going to be a free kick. Cantino was booked. Tentacles up to Ney Marino. Ney Marino over to Tentacles. Tentacles. Back to Wall Jr. Up to Prushkin. Over to Urkel. Urkel tries to find Cortista, but it bounces off Pinkman. Shaheen comes down with it. Urkel over to Tentacles. Up to Ney Marino. Over to Tentacles. Shot is blocked. Ney Marino with 91 assists in their career, looking to get to 100 That corner by Tentacles is headed out. Andre Cantina was booked on a yellow card. Tentacles with it, sends it into Marino. Marino back to Tentacles. Tentacles sends it in, headed out. Skovgaard's then come down with it. Skovgaard with it. Skovgaard kicks it in, and it's out of play. Tentacles corner kick, sends it in, and that's not going to result in anything. Tentacles with the throw in, gets it into Debartov, over to Marino, back to Debartov. Debartov in the box, shot, and that's going to be a goal kick. Ball with the goal kick. 32 minutes played. Cortista over to Marino, back to Tentacles, over to Debartov. Debartov back to Prushkin, over to Skovgaard, back to Prushkin, over to Urkel. Urkel up to Tentacles, over to Chambers. Chambers up to Tentacles, over to Cortista, over to Tentacles, back to Urkel. Urkel over to Skovgaard. Skovgaard with a shot, and it's going to be wide. Shaheen sends it in, headed out by De Silva. Now, technical on the attack. Patterson up. Patterson looking. Patterson sends it over to Roger, but it's blocked over to Tut. That's blocked. Rejovic gets it out, but CDT with it. Elliott running up. Elliott sends it in, headed, and Wall Jr. comes down with it. Good header by Elliott. Rejovic. That pass is intercepted by Tut. Tut sends it all the way back to Ball. Ball over to Pinkman. Pinkman up to Elliott. Elliott up to Hannibal. Hannibal up the sidelines. Hannibal crosses it in, headed down, and it's Dom Patterson again. Second of the game. Dom Patterson with another great header. That was courtesy of Hannibal. Hannibal takes it up the sidelines. Dom Patterson with a great run, sends it in. Dom Patterson's right there to climb the ladder and send it in. Skovgaard with it. Rejovic looking to respond. 42nd minute. Skovgaard sends it in, and Ball's going to come down with it. Ball sends it up. Headed around. Marino comes down with it. Marino up to Cortista, over to Tentacles, back up to Rashford. Rashford with a shot. Goal! Nico Rashford, their second of the game. Beautiful pass by Tentacles to find them, and Rashford just rockets in there for their second of the game, third of the season. Two to two. It's a back and forth game right now. Free kick for CDT. Del Silva sends it in, and it's over the bar. Okay. Marco Tentacles was booked in the 45th minute. Now we're at halftime, 2-2. Shots 7-10 in favor of CDT. 2 on target to 4 in favor of CDT. 1.16 to 1.32 in favor of CDT. I am sweating right now because my basement is hot today for some reason. And CDT with the kickoff gets it back to Tut, over to Cantino, up to Roger, but that's stolen. Chambers with it, Tentacles. And we're away. Chambers is then get booked. Charlie Chambers booked in the 46. Throw in for Rejovic. Rejovic over to Debartov, over to Shaheen. Urkel. Marino back to Tentacles. Tentacles with it. Tentacles shot, and that's going to be an easy save. Tentacles with throwing for Reykjavik. Over to Nemarino. Nemarino up to Debartov. Back to Tentacles. Over to Urkel. Urkel's shot is blocked. CDT's going to take it. It's Dom Patterson up to De Silva. Chambers gets the heavy touch off of De Silva and sends it back to Wall Jr. Up to Skovgaard. Skovgaard over to Shaheen. Back to Prushkin. Over to Skovgaard. Up to Urkel. Shaheen. Heavy touch, but they get it back. Skovgaard with it. Tries to beat Hannibal, but Hannibal's able to take it away. Up to Tut. Hannibal. Still with it. Sends it over to Pinkman. Pinkman looking to move it up. Tut. Tut with it. Tut. All the way over to De Silva. De Silva with it. De Silva up the sidelines. Nemarino's marking, but there's some big cross. Sent into the box, and Roger's there to knock it in. Roger gives CDT a 3-2 lead off of their 5th goal of the season, and that was courtesy of De Silva. De Silva gets it up the sidelines. Roger makes their run. Right, bounces off of Prushkin, and Roger's there to get it. 3-2. CDT with it now. Roger up to Bloodflame. Bloodflame with it. Bloodflame over to Hannibal. Back to Catino. That's headed out. Rashford the second with it. Urkel. Over to Tentacles. Tentacles with it. Over to De Silva. De Silva. Tentacles. Marking. All the way back to Ball. Ball up to Pinkman. Over to Elliot J. Elliot J with it. Elliot J running. Sends it in. Headed and saved by Wall Jr. That was a good head. Wall Jr. comes down with it. Still 3-2. Free kick. Shaheen sends it in. Cortista with the goal if they were onside. Probably going to check this. No goal. Offsides. Yeah, well offsides. It looked offsides from the start. It was a good header by Cortista, but just offsides. Tentacles with the throw-in. Sends it into Debartov. Debartov over to Tentacles, up to Nemarino. Nemarino over to Urkel. Urkel up to Debartov. Debartov shot, and it's blocked. It's going to be a corner kick. Good save by Ball. Tentacles over this corner. Sends it in. Over to Nemarino. Tentacles with it now. Circles. Over to Debartov. Debartov into the box to Shaheen. Shaheen's shot is blocked, but it comes to Santos. Nemarino, and Nemarino buries it for a 3-3 tie. And Reykjavik United's not going away. This cross in from Debartov bounces off, or Shaheen's shot gets blocked by Tut, but it just rolls right to Nemarino, and Nemarino buries it. .74 minutes down now. Ball sends it up. Over to Urkel. Up to Cortista. Shaheen with it. Reykjavik's attacking. Shaheen beats Elliott. Sends it in. Cortista, and they bury it. This time they're going to be onside, I believe. Trey Cortista with a beautiful goal off of a great pass from Shaheen, I believe. Shaheen beats Elliott. Sees Cortista's run, sends it in immediately, and they hit post and in. 4-3 Reykjavik United. 75th minute. Over to Roger. We've been back and forth. 4-3 Reykjavik. Tut with it. Back to Cantino. Cantino with it. Cantino up. Cantino sends it in while Junior comes down. Wall Jr. with it, sends it over to Tentacles. Tentacles with it. Roger cuts him off. Now CDT with it, but Debartov intercepts that. Rashford the second with it, looking to beat Briere. Rashford the second sends it into Cortista. Cortista with it. That's stepped into. They're going to say penalty. We're going to look at this. Briere may be assessed a foul in the box, which is a result in a penalty kick for Reykjavik, and it is no penalty. Play on. Didn't think a whole lot was in that. Now we're into the 83rd minute. 84th, throw in for Skovgaard of Reykjavik. Back to Shaheen, over to Urkel, to Bartov, all the way back to Chambers. Chambers up to Neymarino. Neymarino running. Neymarino's shot is wide. 5 minutes left in the original 90. Skovgaard sends it in. Cortista with it over to Urkel, over to Bartov. Bartov over to Tentacles. Tentacles heavy touch, but they get it back over to Neymarino. Neymarino shot, goal. Second of the game, assisted by Tentacles. Neymarino, beautiful goal. 5-3, Reykjavik United. Big goal there. Tentacles gets around the Silva off of the misplay, and Neymarino beats the goalkeeper. 5-3, we're going into 89th minute, plus 3 of stoppage time. 91st minute, Tentacles sends it in. Back to Tentacles, over to Bartov. Sends it, shot is blocked, Shaheen gets to it. They're going to say free kick at the top of the box. Shaheen is down. Elizabeth Roseblood Flame, assessed to yellow. Shaheen's still down. Shaheen gets up. Shaheen is okay. Rashford the second over this free kick at the top of the box. Lines it up. And here's the kick. It's off the wall. Rashford the second gets it back, sends it, and it's a goal. That's a hat trick, I believe, for Nico Rashford the second. They sends it off the wall, gets it back, runs around the wall, and scores. Off the wall, Rashford with it, sees the opening, sends it, and that's a goal. And it is a hat trick. 94th minute. Cantino with it over to Pinkman. Pinkman up to Elliott, over to Hannibal. Hannibal sends it up to Bloodflame. Bloodflame with it. Bloodflame is offsides. Pushkin. And that's the final whistle. Reykjavik United 6. CD Technicolin 3. Dom Patterson with 2 goals for CD Technicolin. Roger with the other goal. Miko Rashford with 3 goals for Reykjavik. Santos Neymarino with 2. And Trey Cortista with the other one. Beautiful game by Reykjavik. They went down, but they didn't give up. Player of the match is obviously going to be Miko Rashford II with their 3 goals. Marco Tentacles with 2 assists, and George Shaheen with 2 assists as well. Overall, great game by Reykjavik. CDT pressured it, had more of the opportunities towards the end of the first half, and then they just kind of faded. That's going to drop them down into the automatic relegation zone. Reykjavik's on pop up to... Actually, Reykjavik, with that win, may be tied with Leafy Side Celtic, depending on what Leafy Side does. And we'll get into the Hollywood FC Union Sao Paulo going next. And we're back. Hollywood FC 3-0-2 in their last 5. Other side, we have Union Sao Paulo, who's 3-0-2 as well in their last 5, but they're on a 2-game winning streak. Julian Rubio is closing in on 150 goals. They're at 142 currently. Hollywood and Union sitting next to each other in the standings. Hollywood 4-0-3. 12 points, tied with Union, but goal differential favors them 7 goals to 1 goal. Hollywood, Union Sao Paulo with it. Hashimoto kicks it up. Hashimoto is at 89 career assists, right behind Ney Marino at 91. Fantobean sends it in for Hollywood. Headed around, and Agrilla, the third, comes down with it. Sends it deep. Dia with it over. Fantobeans loses it. Rubio with it. Now over to De Groot. De Groot up the sideline. De Groot beats their man. De Groot shot, and it is saved. This will be a corner for Union Sao Paulo. Cotswold over it. Cotswold sends it in. Headed out. Kirkpatrick gets to it. Sends it over to Cotswold. Cotswold sends it to the side, but Calderon intercepts it. Calderon running now. Calderon up to Fantobeans. Fantobeans loses the ball, and that results in nothing. Skovgaard over Dia. That pass is picked up. Pelizotto takes it. Pelizotto takes it. Cotswold over to Hashimoto. Hashimoto over to Mulder. Mulder with it. Mulder's shot is wide. Goal kick. Could have been a pass. Skovgaard's going to get a yellow. Hashimoto over to Pelizotto. Cotswold with it. Shot, and it's saved. Wallerson with a huge save. It's a corner. Cotswold over top of this corner. Sends it in. Headed around. De Groot sends it back in. Headed, and it's saved. Another corner. Cotswold sending it in again. And nothing comes of it. Corner for Hollywood FC. Dobra, and it's saved. Sorry, I was adjusting something on my phone. Cotswold over it, sends it in. Mulder comes down with it. Mulder with it. Mulder over to Nelson. Nelson up to the top. Kirkpatrick buries it. Ryan Kirkpatrick off the Nelson assist. What a rocket of a shot in the box. And Kirkpatrick scores their first of the season. Caspian Skovgaard booked in the 5th minute. Ryan Kirkpatrick's Union Sao Paulo goal in the 17th. Hollywood FC's looking to respond. Fantobeans over to Skovgaard. Skovgaard all the way over to Calderon, up to Dia. Dia finds Dobra. Dobra on the run. It's chipped over, and it's a goal. Nice little chip goal by Marine Dobra to make it 1-1. Martel is banged up. F. Wisen over to Calderon. Calderon over to Dia. Dia finds Dobra. Dobra chips it and into the net. Nice little float goal by Dobra. Cheeky play. We're tied up 1-1. Hefe Wisen. Mulder steps into that. Hashimoto with it now. Over to Mulder, over to De Groot. De Groot finds Rubio. Rubio goal. Nerd De Groot on a beautiful assist to Rubio. They're checking it. Offsides. No goal. Yeah. Hefe Wisen steps up, and Rubio does not see that, and they are offsides. Hashimoto with a throw-in, taken away by Hollywood FC. Capping it, shot, and it's tipped wide. It's going to be a corner for Hollywood FC. Headed around, it's back out to Mograine, and nothing's going to come of it. Martel's still banged up, but they're playing through it. Hashimoto up to Pizzotto over to Calderon. Nelson with it. Nelson sends it back to Cotswold over to Aioli. That's a good save by Warrison. It's going to be a corner for Union of Sao Paulo. Cotswold over top of it. Sends it in. Kirkpatrick's going to get to it. Actually, he lets Cotswold take it. Up to Head. Head back to Aioli. And nothing comes of that. Cotswold sends it in. They Groot. Over to Cotswold. Cotswold gets stepped into. They're calling a penalty here. Hollywood doesn't agree. They're going to check it. And it is a penalty. Penalty kick for Rubio. Rubio over top of this. Rubio sends it in, and it's a goal. Julian Rubio with his 143rd, 7 away from 150 career. And that one gives União Sao Paulo a 2-1 lead over Hollywood FC with 42 minutes played. 3 minutes of stoppage time. And it looks like we're going straight to halftime. 2-1 União Sao Paulo. Shots favor União Sao Paulo 9-5. 5 on target, 3 to Hollywood FC. We're scrolling through this fast. Hollywood FC with a 0.4 XG compared to União Sao Paulo's 1.78. You see all the other information on the screen, the heat maps, the action zones, the best performers, the worst performers. We're going to take a break, see if there's any halftime subs, and then we'll get right back into the second half of this Hollywood FC União Sao Paulo goal. Hollywood FC kicks off over to Calderon. Hollywood FC is looking to respond. That ball's going to go out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Hollywood. And we're going to move on. And we're just moving right along. We're already up to the 64th minute. Cotswold sends it in. Cotswold back with it. Spins around. Sends it back to Kirkpatrick. Martel's still really banged up. Not moving as fast. Kirkpatrick sends it back to Agrilla. Over to Head. Over to Hashimoto. Hashimoto's on a run now. Hashimoto finds Mulder. Mulder looking in the box. Sends it. And it is all the way out. It's going to be a throw-in for União. Nothing comes of that play. We're still going. 70th minute. Hollywood FC with it. Dabra takes it away from Mulder. Dabra up to Dia. Dia back to Cormier. Up to Mograine. Mograine with it. Mograine looking in the box. Shot, and it's going to be saved. Big save by the Union Sao Paulo goalkeeper. Calderon sends it in. Over to Skogard. Skogard all the way back to Hafenweisen. Over to Calderon. Calderon looking for the lane. Gets it over to Fanto Beans, and Henry Fanto Beans scores off of a great assist from Calderon for their third goal of the season. And it was just a beautiful play. Sends it up to Calderon. Fanto Beans makes a run. Calderon sees him and ties it up 2-2 in the 72nd minute. Henry Fanto Beans. Julian Rubio booked. That free kick is saved. Nothing going on here. And get up to the 80th minute and beyond. Calderon with the throw in over to Fanto Beans. Fanto Beans sends it over to Skovgaard. Skovgaard sends it in the box. It's headed out by Hashimoto. Hashimoto. Rubio comes down with it. Rubio running now. Rubio. Heavy touch. Cormier takes it away. Over to Calderon. Calderon. Up to Fanto Beans. Fanto Beans. Up to Martel, but they're not going to be fast enough, and Cotswold gets to it. Over to Pizzotto. Head. Stepped into Mokrane. Dobra up to Kepenis, and that is saved. Good shot. It's going to be a corner for Hollywood FC. Hollywood FC asking a lot of questions of Sao Paulo. Let's see if they're able to answer. Sends it in. Dobra's going to get to the loose ball. Sends it back in and headed out. It's going to be a goal kick. Cotswold with the corner for Union and Sao Paulo. We're in the 84th minute. Sends it in. Headed out to Groot. Over the head. Back to De Groot. Sent in. Calderon heads it out. Skovgaard's will win the race to this. Skovgaard sends it up to Fanto Beans. Fanto Beans looking for an outlet, but they're just on a run. They beat their man. Up to Martel. Martel with it. Martel over to Capinas, and that shot is blocked. Fanto Beans is down behind the play. Rubio with it. Rubio, and that's going to be sent out. Fanto Beans injured. Skovgaard with the corner. Sends it in. Headed out. Dobra gets back to it. Over to Martel. Shot, and it's over the bar. Saved. It's going to be a corner for Hollywood FC. Skovgaard over top of this one. 87th minute. Sends it in. Headed, and it's out of play. Full kick for Union Sao Paulo. XG has been tightened up. Hollywood and Union 2.01, 2.03 respectively. 93rd minute of 3 minutes of stoppage time. Sends it up to Kirkpatrick, up to Nelson. Finds Rubio streaking, but nothing comes of that. Calderon back to Wallerson. Looks like this game's going to end in a tie. Sent up, headed down. Dia with it. Dia looking to move upwards. Finds Skovgaard over to Dobra. Dobra, Rubio picks it off. Now it's Union, but Dia takes it away. Dobra, now it's Hollywood. Over to Mokrane. Mokrane attacking up the sideline. That's out of play for a throw-in for Union. And that's going to be full-time. 2-2 draw. Hollywood FC and Union Sao Paulo battled completely evenly, almost across the whole list. 15 shots to 12, 7 on target for each, 2.01 versus 2.03. Goals were for Henry Fanto Beans and Marine Dobra, who came down with the player of the match over on Hollywood FC's side. Union, Kirkpatrick, and Julian Rubio with the goals. Not much movement for them in the table. They're going to stay the same. Leafy side has a chance to jump up with them. Not really, though. But to tie them in points. We could have a 4-way tie for first in points if Leafy Side FC wins. But Shanghai Dragons do not want to see that happen. We'll be right back with that game. And we're going. Shanghai FC 2-1-2 in their last 5. Leafy side 2-0-3 in their last 5. Leafy side's on a 2-game losing streak, looking to end that. You see the standings right there. If Leafy side loses, they could drop down into the playoff relegation zone. Medina kicks off for Leafy sides, who's in their black and greens. McTendy with it. McTendy over to Pedrillo. Back to Noseworthy. Noseworthy up to Pedrillo. Over to Ball. Ball with it. Ball going up. Over to Super Hoops. Super Hoops with it. Super Hoops crosses it in. And it's headed out of play for a corner for Leafy side. Leafy side and Shanghai just met last week in the SSL Cup. Leafy side won that. But Shanghai would say it's because they lost one of their players, McTendy, over to Hughes Galloway, and that shot is over. Goal kick. Could have been something special there. Yellow card for Johnson. Trick Johnson with the yellow in the 4th. Ball with the corner kick for Leafy side. Ball over top of it. Ball sends it in. Headed. It's saved. Stain's going to get to it. Stain sends it over to McTendy. McTendy back to Takashi. Up to Ball. Ball over to Dabala. Back to Pedrillo. Over to Stain's shot, and it's well wide. Nothing dangerous in that shot. Goal kick for Leafy side. Over to Noseworthy. Up to Ball. Ball over to Hughes Galloway. Hughes Galloway back. It's a bad pass. Hohenheim gets it over to Voda. Voda's shot is saved. Trick Johnson over top of the ball. Sends it in. Trick Johnson still with it. Sends it in again. Snorlax is going to come down with it. And that chance goes away. Leafy side with the throw-in. Gets it over to Hughes Galloway. Over to Dybala. Dybala's running. Shot, and it's outside of the net. It's going to be a corner. Ball over top of it. Ball sends it in. Headed, and it's saved again. It's another corner for Leafy side. Ball on this corner. Sends it in. Ball's going to run and get it. Ball with it. Ball over to Noseworthy. It's a bad pass. Lynn steps into it, and nothing comes of that. Six shots for Leafy side, only 2 on target. 7 now. We're going all the way into the 30th minute. Trick Johnson with a corner for Shanghai sends it up to the top over Jamithis with a shot, and it is knocked out. It's going to be another corner for Shanghai. Shanghai. Trick Johnson over this one. Sends it in. Top of the box. Albertson over to Trick Johnson. That is blocked by Medina. Hughes Galloway gets to it. Brunson steps into it. Back to De Soto, and nothing comes of that. Now it's a throw-in for DeVecchio of Shanghai over to Albertson. Back to Del Vecchio. DeVecchio up to Bunsen. Bunsen up to Johnson. Johnson back to Lind. Over to other Johnson. Johnson back to Lind. Circles around over to De Soto. De Soto up to Bunsen. Bunsen up. Shot saved by Snorlax. Shanghai now taking over control of this game. Up to the 37th, free kick. Volta sends it in, and Snorlax comes down with it. It's been a lot of Shanghai FC in the last couple minutes. Snorlax looking for a play, sends it deep. Headed. Pedrilla gets to it, but Bunsen takes it away. Jimithis over to Volta. Volta shot, and it's over the bar. It's going to be a goal kick. DeValchio up the sidelines, but Stain takes it away. Stain over to McTendy, over to Dybala. Dybala over to Ball. Ball settles it. Ball Sends it all the way back to Noseworthy. Noseworthy with it. Noseworthy over to Stain. Stain all the way back to McTendy. McTendy up to Super Hoops. Super Hoops running now. Super Hoops over to Ball. Ball with it. Ball with a chance. Shot, and it's blocked by Albinson. Good block. Ball's going to take the corner now for Leafy Side. 41st minute. Leafy Side looking to score. Sends it in. Back to Ball. Ball's going to get it over to Padrillo, but that's a bad pass that Jimethus takes away. Jimethus running. Finds Albertson. Albertson beats their first player. Shot off the post. And Johnson's going to come down with it from Shanghai. Leafy Side OC needs to buy that post a bunch of dinners because that just saved them from being down 1-0. Albertson now. Shot is blocked. Takashi sends it up to Medina. Medina over to Hughes Galloway. A little bit of a misplay by Hughes Galloway, but Takashi comes back down with it. That's going to be sent out of play. 45th minute. Over to Stain. Bad pass. Bunsen gets into it. Johnson over to Albinson. Albinson back to DeSoto. 2 minutes of stoppage time to Vecchio. Back to DeSoto. 1 minute of the minimum stoppage time left. Over to Lind. Lind up to Voda. Voda to Bunsen. Over to Trick Johnson. Trick Johnson's going to look to run, but sends it back to Lind. Lind back to Johnson now. Ball marking. Ball. Jimethus finds the open space. Jimethus shot. Sent wide. Albertson could not get to it. That's going to be halftime. 0-0 is the score. Shanghai, 9 shots, along with Leafy Side, 9 shots. 3 on target for each team. XG, 1.25 for Shanghai, 1.08 for Leafy Side. Shanghai took over XG kind of in the last 5 minutes of that match. Story of the game, big post save and some bad passes from Leafy Side. If Leafy Side cleans that up, they could be on the board. But as it is, 0-0 going into the second half. And here we are in the second half. Kickoff from Shanghai. Voda over to Johnson. Johnson back to Lind. Lind up to Johnson. Lind all the way back to Takachi. Over to DeSoto. Up to Bunsen. Sorry, you guys. My announcing has not been the greatest today. I'm not feeling well. Just trying to fight through it, so please forgive me. Over to Johnson. Johnson back to Lind. Johnson. Jimethus. Up to Johnson. Over to Voda. Jimethus. Over to DeVecchio. Up to Abernson. Abernson looks to turn the corner, and they do. Then cross it. Crosses it back. Headed over. Hughes Galloway with it. Back to Varnson. Varnson. Stepped into DeVecchio. Gets it. DeVecchio over to Bunsen. Up to Johnson. Johnson up to Jimethus. Shot saved by Snorlax. Free kick for Shanghai. Sends it into the box. Headed around. Still bouncing. Jimethus comes down with it. Over to Abernson. Shot, and it's blocked. It's going to be a corner. Trick Johnson is going to take this corner. Sends it in. Headed out. Abernson with it. Albinson with it. Over to DeVecchio. Throw in. DeVecchio, Shanghai. It's been a lot of Shanghai since the end of the first half. Voda with it. Back to DeVecchio. Sent in. Bunsen. Trick Johnson shot and denied by Snorlax. It's going to be a corner for Shanghai. 53rd minute. Sent in. Headed and Snorlax. Snorlax is having a great game right now. 56th minute. Ali Bunsen is booked for Shanghai. We're into the 60 minutes. Voda sends it in. Headed out. Jimethus gets it over to Bunsen. Up to Abernson. Voda with a shot, and there's nothing Snorlax can do about that. Marcel Voda with a beautiful goal. And Shanghai has the 1-0 lead. Voda sends it in. Gemesis comes down with it. Bunsen, and then great touch by Abinson to get it up to Marcel Voda. Marcel Voda gets Shanghai on the board first. Shanghai still with the ball. Voda up to Vecchio. Tripped up. It's going to be a free kick. Don't believe it was in the box. But they're going to look at it. They're checking. No penalty. It's going to be outside the box on the free kick. But they're still dangerous from there. Up to the 70th minute. Leafy side looking to do something. They've lost possession time now. We're into the 80s. 83rd free kick for Voda. Sent over to Gemesis. Gemesis' shot is blocked. Varnson comes down with it. Sent up to Gemesis is going to come back with it. Over to Lind. Lind all the way back to Takechi. Up to DeSoto. DeSoto up to Albertson. Sent into the box. And it's goal! Thomas Hohenhahn. Third goal of the season off of a beautiful header. 2-0. Shanghai. Finds Albertson. Albertson runs up the sideline, crosses it in. Hohenhahn is right there for the header. And it's 2-0, 85th minute. Gemesis over to Lin. It's been all Shanghai this second half. Up to Brunson, over to Voda. Voda back to DeSoto. DeSoto over to DeVecchio. DeVecchio up to Albertson. Over to Hohenheim. It's headed and it's brought down by Snorlax. 5 minutes left in the 90. 3 minutes left. Free kick for Leafy side, and that's sent well far. Takechi sends it up. Headed back. Dybala tries to get to it, but Bunsen comes down with it. Super Hoops cuts off that pass. Super Hoops up to Hughes Galloway. Hughes Galloway is fouled. They're going to call a penalty. We'll see if it's a stick. Don't know. That was a weird foul. And it's a penalty. Medema over top of this. Medema steps up. Sends it in. Caroline Medema with the goal to make it 2-1. Shanghai still up. But Leafy side has a chance with 2 minutes left in the 90. And we're into stoppage time. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Leafy side has a chance here. Staying up to Super Hoops. Into the box, but it's knocked all the way out. Headed up, but Johnson comes down with it. 93rd minute. Steps into it. Noseworthy's going to come down with it. Can Leafy side turn it up and go? McTindy over to Super Hoops. Super Hoops up to Vecchio. Takes that away. Now it's Voda, but that's sent out of play. We're in the 94th minute of the four minimum minutes of stoppage time. To Vecchio with it. Doesn't take his time. No rush for Shanghai. They have the 1-goal lead, and that is the final whistle. Shanghai 2-1 over Leafy side. Marcel Voda and Thomas Hohenheim with the goals for them, and Caroline Medema with the penalty kick in the 89th minute for Leafy side. 2-1. Shots 17-14, 9-5. XG 1.98 to 2.16. Player of the match, Sam Albertson, with their 2 assists. Overall, great game by Sam Albertson. And that's going to wrap up today's matches. We'll get a look at the final standings. and what that means going forward. This was match day 8. We still have 2 more match days before everything's settled, but we're starting to see the picture a little bit clearer. And there you are. Shanghai still in the lead, 5-1-2, 16 points. Hollywood FC in second, 4-1-3, 13 points. Union of Sao Paulo, 4-1-3, 13 points, but one 7-goal differential for Hollywood FC, 1 for Union of Sao Paulo. Reykjavik moves up to 4th, from 6th to 4th, 3-1-4. 10 points, -3 on the goal differential. Leafy side drops down to 5th, 3-1-4, -4 on the goal differential, 10 points. And Club Deportivo Tenecalen, 2-1-5, -7 with 7 points. Reykjavik United won against CDT 6-3. Hollywood FC 2-2, tie with Union of Sao Paulo. And Shanghai Dragons wins 2-1 over Leafy Side FC. I was your host, Patrick. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to more match days with you. Hope you have a great day, and I love you. Goodbye.